Well, Hillary Clinton has been very clear, flatly rejecting the possibility that more emails could surface between the Clinton Foundation and State Department officials that could potentially damage her campaign. But Julian Assange, the co-founder of WikiLeaks, which exposed those DNC emails, well, he was here on Fox News this past week, and he warned new documents he says are on the way. New emails that he claims are game-changing in the campaign.
Well, we're working around the clock. We have received quite a lot of material.
Are we going to see it before the November 8th election?
Yes, absolutely. He's involved in that election. I have the right to understand who it is they're electing.
Well, what could that mean? David Goodfriend is a former deputy staff secretary to President Bill Clinton and a Hillary Clinton surrogate. David, I mean, it's been drip, drip, drip. Are you worried about what could come next?
I'm not, and I think the reason is because past is prologue here. We've seen releases of tranches of emails in the past. We've seen stories like from the Associated Press making great claims of connection between the State Department and the Foundation that later turn out to be rather barren in having any substance. I think we'll see more of a pattern of emails being released for sure, and I think we'll hear a lot of accusations for sure. But the real question is whether this will impact the outcome of the election.
Well, I know some would say, let me interrupt you, some would say the real impact of this is Mrs. Clinton's character and what she claimed and what the campaign claimed and what the foundation claimed. That isn't true. Okay. They said there was a total separation between the foundation and the State Department. Yes. And these emails are exposing that as a lie, basically, that there were emails between between officials of the State Department and also officials of the foundation. And critics say there's a quid pro quo among these big donors. Well, what if more comes out about this? Like this morning, ABC says that Huma Abedin and Doug Banner are emailing about getting some executives' seats at a lunch for the Chinese president. That wasn't supposed to happen, we were told.
All right. So I know Huma and I know Doug. In fact, Doug and I worked together in the Clinton White House. And as I understand the situation you just described, they were discussing who was going to attend, I think it was a lunch. And that's pretty typical. In fact, if you have communications between any significant organization and a scheduler at an agency suggesting people to attend, you can't spit in Washington and not hit somebody who's been involved in that kind of scheduling. Okay, but let me draw a little contrast for you here, because in both campaigns, the Trump campaign and the Clinton campaign, you have had these narratives of undue influence by my opponent of foreign countries. You know, in our case, we pointed out that Paul Manafort, the then chairman of the Trump campaign, was doing business with Russian allies.
He's gone.
And he's gone precisely. So there, we clearly landed a punch. All right, there was definitely something there that led Donald Trump to say to his campaign chairman, you got to go. And by contrast, every time we start to dig underneath the latest Hillary Clinton email tranche, it seems like there's just not that much there. And therefore, I'm left to believe that when you ask, is there going to be a result or an impact from any further emails being dropped, again, past is prologue here.
Well, the past isn't prologue because we're in the middle of a presidential race. And the New York Times says the foundation lobbied to change an HIV program, lobbied the State Department in Rwanda. That should have happened. Rajiv Fernando gave $100,000. Commodities broke in Chicago, gets put on a nuclear committee about the nuclear security. What does he know about that? Wall Street Journal, Ukrainian businessman gave $8 million as a dinner in Washington at Mrs. Clinton's house while she's Secretary of State. He got the uranium deal. I mean, on and on and on. And so it's beginning to look that, and you say it's all innocent, the foundation says it's all innocent, the State Department says, well, we can't comment on some of this stuff. I mean, can you understand what people would think? Wait a minute. I mean, does Joe get to go and meet Mrs. Clinton, but you got to pony up $25 million or $100,000 in order to get on the ticket?
So what you're alleging there is that in order to get the meeting, you had to give the money. And that's what everybody keeps saying, and yet there's no proof, there's no substantiation of it. Look, if I'm in a hole, I should stop digging, or else I'm just going to get deeper in the hole. And yet the Trump campaign, the Republican Party, seems intent on hammering away on these emails as if it's going to change the fact that they're losing.
Are they
wrong?
The Trump campaign is the Trump campaign. Well, wait a minute, let me just stop here. It doesn't matter if they're losing. Yeah. Are they wrong?
Of course they're wrong. That's why they're losing. That's why it doesn't work, guys. If it ain't working, try something else. I'd love to debate my opponents from the Trump campaign on something that matters. They keep thinking that talking about emails is going to score points. It doesn't change the fact that even the University of Virginia, which is a very well-respected sort of predictor and analyzer of campaigns, they're predicting right now an overwhelming electoral college victory for Hillary Clinton. I'm not taking anything for granted.
That's fine.
It ain't working. The strategy ain't working.
The strategy doesn't matter. Do you think, finally, quickly, do you think Mrs. Clinton and the foundation did anything wrong?
No, I do not, and that's why I support her for president.
All right, David, good friend. Thank you. Good to see you on the Sunday. Thank you for coming in. And thanks for Julian Assange. This is going to keep on going, so we'll get you back. Thank you.
As the presidential race heats up, the topic of the candidate's health is